I think being a CPA has given a great advantage in a lot of areas. One has been in terms of employment. Whenever you're out there searching, there are a lot of accountants out there, but the CPA designation, it goes a long way. It shows that you've gone that extra step to get the certification to make yourself a little more marketable. I think secondly, it's helped me personally to show that I have accomplished something that can pretty much never be taken away from me. It's a personal accomplishment. And even if my company didn't support me financially, I will always do it because it's something that I know what I struggled to get there in terms of studying. And I just think it's a great designation to have from a personal perspective. And I think even in terms of, when I go back to the employment area, in terms of self-employment, even when people hear that designation, oh, you're a CPA, the first thing they think about, God, you can do taxes for me. But it's a well-respected designation, and being in the profession has also shown me how a lot of people have a lot of integrity here in the profession and a lot of high ethics. Having the CPA designation has opened a lot of doors for me in terms of when I look at, that was one point in my life I wanted to get my MBA, and I never forget someone told me, Gail, you have your CPA, that's pretty much competitive with an MBA. And I've seen myself be up against job opportunities with people, and we come in together, they have an MBA, I have a CPA. So it carries a lot of weight, and I think it's made me competitive in the sense that, no, I don't need the MBA, but it is a designation that's highly regarded. Gosh, the personal challenges that I had in sitting for the exam. I started off, at the time when I sat, this probably would tell my age, we could sit for a certain amount of parts. But in order to get credit for the parts we passed, we had to score a minimum score on the ones we did not pass. So those were the days, the handwritten, people monitor us, we were in this large room. I had passed, I think, about a couple of parts, and I decided to take a position in Connecticut. It was the first time I moved away. And when I relocated, I ended up losing all my parts, and I had to start over. And I had people telling me, God, I could never do that. If I was you, I would never do that. I had all this negativity until the point I almost decided not to start over. It's nothing worse than trying to start over from scratch. But I did, and I ended up going in there and sitting and passing 3 of the 4 parts in that one sitting. And when I moved back to Texas, I passed my last part. So I hold it dearly because I know what I went through. I've lost a couple of parts to get there and had to start from scratch, but it was well worth it. I do feel being a CPA, as CPAs, we do need to give back to our community in terms of, I would say from financial literacy perspective. I'm so excited after joining the Austin chapter in Texas Society CPA, the fact that the society itself and the AICPA supports financial literacy to the community. I've been very active on that committee where we go out and we do presentations to nonprofits, and we also are looking for ways where we can tap into the community to help them with not only taxes, but just credit counseling, anything that can help those who are less fortunate in that area. We owe it as CPAs because of our knowledge. That's one gift that we can give back, because there's so many people out there that don't know the basics of money management, and we have been gifted in our areas in terms of knowledge that I think it's just a blessing. It's really been great that I've had the opportunity through the society to do that, and I haven't had that opportunity in any other organization that I participated in. So I think that's been great, and I applaud the Texas Society CPA for supporting such a great cause. Being a CPA has helped me to, not only from a career perspective in terms of where I want to head. I think eventually someday I would like to get my own business and become self-employed and help others in money management. But it has also helped me personally in giving me the confidence to know that I can do some things. I like the fact that the morals and the ethics that are displayed by those who are members in the profession, I just can't say it enough that I'm very proud to be a part of that. As with any profession, there's always someone, there's always scandals or whatever, but I've just been really fortunate to be around some people who have some really high ethics, which has also spilled over into my personal life to have the conviction to stand up for what is right. And I think in terms of also from a personal money management, I consider myself a financial geek, where I love to deal with finances, and just being in the field has helped me personally in terms of managing my own personal finances as well. Being a CPA is very rewarding financially. One of the things, I think the first thing you always have to think about is what you want to do with that certification. There are various avenues to go down. Industry, you can get your own business, consulting, things of that sort. But it is well worth the investment. As with any profession, it is what you put into it. Now, to sit here and say that you become a multimillionaire, I'm not here to say that, but it is very rewarding. I think the benefits you reap will more than compensate for the initial investment you put in terms of paying for the exam and the study materials. I think it's just a great opportunity. I can't say that there are not unemployed CPAs, but with any profession, you always have that. But this is the one thing I can always say: when someone sees that certification, it gives great respect and value for it. But it's not that to the fact that, say for instance, you were unemployed, but maybe you decide to do your own business. I mean, I'll talk to colleagues every day that they were laid off and decided to do their own business, CPAs, and are doing very great. So, and it's all about what you want to do, use it, how to use it, and what you want to do with it in terms of whether it's financially rewarding. It is, but it's not something that you can put a dollar value on to say, oh, I would be in this certain salary category or whatever, but it's what you make of it. I think my best professional moment as a CPA has been, surprising enough, is being out in the community and giving advice to someone that really values what you're bringing to the table. In terms of, I've been fortunate to do some counseling, budget counseling through churches. I have, in the Austin chapter of the society, I am the committee chairperson for the Financial Literacy Committee, and we actually came up with a presentation to present to churches for the first time, and I was a part of that and was able to present to churches along with another colleague. And that has just been so very rewarding to me, to know that people come up to you afterwards, are asking questions, and just, it makes you feel like it is worthwhile for the knowledge that I receive. It goes above and beyond just going to work every day but you're giving to the organization, but it's about also giving back to the community. So that has probably been my most rewarding in terms of professionally, is just taking it and giving back through the society in terms of helping the community. And also giving the opportunity to present and get before others. As a CPA, some of the challenges that I do see ahead of me are, I know economic times are hard. I would eventually like to do have my own firm, small, that I would have my own business and get clients. And that's the challenge of trying to determine where the clients would be and trying to ride out the economic terms. But I think the opportunities are there. And I think it's the first and foremost thing is just believing in yourself that you can do it. And I think my peers that I have, that I associate with and in the society, have given me a great advice. I meet all the time with people who have their own firms in our chapters, and just sometimes go to lunch and say, hey, can you just give me some advice how you started out? And I think once I get to that comfort zone, that I will be ready to make that step. But again, it is always challenged with anything because it's the unknowns, uncertainty. I've been in industry all my career, and so you don't have that certainty of a paycheck all the time and the certainty of the benefits that come along with that. But I also think the most rewarding thing that probably offset all of that is the freedom to do and be what you want to be. So I'm looking forward to that. I would probably say some of the memorable moments has been probably in my current position at Dell. I work in the benefits department in HR. If you had asked me when I came to Dell 5 years ago if I ever would have done a rotation in HR, I wouldn't have never believed it. Because again, it's not finance and what would they have a need for. But my manager saw a need for a financial analyst on the team to help her team, the program managers, to help manage their programs around like health and welfare, retirement, from a financial perspective. And me just coming over there with the knowledge that I have, and these people are strictly in operational mode, has been so rewarding, because sometimes they're just in awe of something I take for granted every day, is the knowledge that I have. And I think that's probably the most wonderful thing anyone could ever experience. Even if I go back into finance, it has been very rewarding. It's given me opportunity to take something from scratch, a newly defined role, and build it up put processes in place, structure, and relying on me as that financial consultant for the team. And that has been very rewarding, as opposed to sometimes coming into an organization and just doing something that's already defined. So that's another great opportunity as a CPA to take on something from a consulting perspective, or just taking something from ground up and using your knowledge and being an expert to other areas of a business organization that would truly value your experience and knowledge.